It is time for another Empties video, which, if you are new here, is when I walk you through every single beauty product I have fully used up, including makeup, skincare, hair care, and body care, and give you my honest thoughts on every single product, including whether or not I plan to repurchase them. Clearly, we have a lot to get through, so let's dive right into it. Let's kick this off with skincare because my very first empty is my Apostrophe prescription, and Apostrophe is kindly the sponsor of this portion of today's video. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you to an expert dermatology team and provides access to oral and/or topical prescription medications. And I have 2 prescriptions now, so I'll be applying both of these on camera while we chat through the rest. I have been using these prescriptions for about 2 months now. The first of the 2 is 15% azelaic acid with 4% niacinamide, and the second of the 2 is 0.05% tazarotene with 4% niacinamide as well. So let's quickly talk through an update on how the transition to these 2 new prescriptions have been from the last one that I was using, which was tretinoin and spironolactone. I think the biggest thing that I noticed was the fact that my skin pretty much immediately calmed down upon switching to these. Instead of continuing to have more and more breakouts emerge, my breakouts started healing and just everything calmed down, which just made me feel really good about the fact that this was a switch that my skin really needed. And I was told that it would take about 2 to 3 months to get my skin stabilized on this new treatment regimen. And that, like with any acne treatment that you try out for the first time, symptoms could get worse within the first several weeks of treatment. Thankfully, I have not had that experience, but I will say that within the past 2 months since making this switch, I've definitely not been 100% breakout free. I have had a few breakouts, but significantly less than the number of breakouts I was experiencing before the switch, and definitely nothing like a purge where you're getting a ton of breakouts all at once. So while I am not at that 3-month mark yet, I am feeling really relieved that things are going really well so far, and I'm super happy with the state of my skin. I do still have like a couple post-acne marks that are clearing up, but other than that, I feel like my skin is in amazing shape. So that is my 2-month update, and I will definitely check back in a month from now when I hit that 3-month point. So to get started and get access to a personalized treatment plan for your individual skin concerns like acne, hyperpigmentation, rosacea, fine lines, or wrinkles, all you have to do is complete a virtual consultation through Apostrophe. And you can use the promo code listed here on the screen and in the description box below to get your initial consultation for $5 and $5 off your first order. Moving right along, I have 2 of the Garnier Micellar cleansing waters, one of which is Jumbo, because this is the makeup remover that I reverted back to when I did start breaking out a few months ago. In that video I posted where I talked all about why I stopped using tretinoin and started using tazarotene, I told you guys that I had been experimenting with a lot of new skincare products. And several of those products were really popular K-beauty cleansing oils. And what I noticed upon looking into the ingredients in those cleansing oils after I started breaking out and I was trying to get to the bottom of what was going on is that almost every single one of those cleansing oils did have ingredients that could potentially be pore clogging in higher amounts at the very top of the label. I am definitely not somebody that like religiously lives and breathes by the comedogenicy scale. I know that there are issues with it. I actually recently saw a video that a dermatologist I follow on Instagram posted. The account is Derm Talk, and she just has text on this video that says, realizing that the comedogenic scale isn't a reliable way to predict if a product will cause breakouts or clogged pores. It's based on a 1972 study done on rabbit ears and doesn't account for human skin differences, ingredient concentrations, or formulation. And then in the caption, it says that while non-comedogenic labels can be helpful, they're not a guarantee that a product won't clog your pores. Similarly, you can't just determine if a product will cause breakouts just by looking at the ingredients list. It's all about how ingredients work together and how your skin responds. So I just wanted to highlight that because I think it's important to remember that, and I'm obviously going to trust an expert on that topic, so that is my mindset towards it as well. But when my skin started freaking out, I was like, I am just curious to see, like, are any of those ingredients that have been flagged as potential pore cloggers at the top of the label? And they were. So that was a very long-winded way of saying that that is why I switched back to using the Garnier Micellar cleansing water for the time being, because these have never caused breakouts for me. They work so well. I absolutely love the fact that it's not something that's messy. That's why I always keep micellar waters in my, I was gonna say in my collection, I guess. Like in my skincare stash, it's always something that I want to have on hand because sometimes I don't feel like messing with an oil or a balm. This is just like easier and less of a hassle for me. But I'll probably continue to go through more of these than I normally would have until I start to feel confident enough with where my skin is at to be testing out products like that again. So good. Thank God for these. Another product that I reverted back to is the Vanicream Daily Facial Moisturizer. You guys have seen this in and out of my videos, mostly in, for years at this point, because this is a brand that I know I can always rely on whenever I'm having skin issues. And really any kind of skin issues at that. It could be active breakouts, clogged pores, skin barrier damage. Even back when I was having flares of perioral dermatitis, Vanicream was like the only brand that I could use that didn't seem to exacerbate the issues that I was experiencing, which I feel is the perfect way to describe the products that this brand has. They never make any of the issues that I have worse. They just allow my skin to heal while it kind of goes back to the state that it was in before. But even if you don't have skin issues, this is such an amazing moisturizer and something that, again, I will continue to go back to time and time again. I fully used up the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Gel B5 Glycerin Skin Protectant, which was one of my top 10 skincare products of 2024. What I really love about this is that it's a versatile product for me in my routines. I can really kind of use it however I feel. So I could just use this as a lightweight all over daytime moisturizer. I could layer it underneath a thicker moisturizing cream for additional protection. I could layer it under another thicker barrier cream if I have skin barrier damage. I can use it as an eye cream. She's really a multifaceted girl in that way because of how lightweight the texture is. It's not heavy, it's not greasy, it dries down and absorbs really well. Fabulous all around. This is something a lot of you will recognize. It is the Kopari Moisture Whipped Ceramide Cream. It's a moisturizer that I have raved about for a couple of years now, and I have two of them, but I actually haven't used this in a little while now because I put them at the very back of my Empties drawers, which I will sometimes do when I feel like I have talked about a product too much and I am sure that you guys are sick of hearing about it. Like, I'll look at all of the Empties I have in my drawers and be like, oh my God, they do not want to hear me talking about this again. They've had enough. And so I'll leave them in my drawers to talk about in like the next Empties video when I feel like maybe there's been enough of a break. Obviously, I'm not doing that for everything because there are products that are in every single one of my Empties videos, but I don't know, this one I was like, I can't bring myself to talk about this again. But now that I am missing this. So I'm trying to think of the moisturizers that I was testing out in place of this. If you are newer here, the Kopari Moisture Whipped Ceramide Cream is a moisturizer that did I say that weird? Is a moisturizer. Emily, roll footage. Is a moisturizer. This is a moisturizer that was one of my absolute holy grails for nighttime purposes. It's perfectly thick without being too heavy. It's not greasy. It's not one of those that like leaves a smothery film on your skin. You know what I mean? The texture is just beautiful. It feels so nice and moisturizing. The ingredients are very replenishing and hydrating. I absolutely love it, but I paused on it because again, I was testing out other skincare products. So I know one moisturizer I was trying out in place of this potentially, like to potentially replace it with, was the Beauty of Joseon. Oh my God, what's that cream? The Dynasty cream. The Dynasty cream. Yes, that's right. But that one is so much thinner than this. So I actually felt like the Dynasty cream was not quite thick enough for when I wanted something thick at night, which a lot of you kind of agreed with in the comments of the last video that I talked about that in, whenever that was, I can't keep anything straight. It still has a really beautiful silky texture. It's just not the same kind of thing as this, which is definitely what I like to use this time of year when it's super dry and cold. So I'll continue to be on the hunt for any K-beauty brands or just Asian beauty brands in general that have moisturizers that are thicker like this that I may like even better. But in the meantime, this is still one that is absolutely beautiful and I highly recommend. Next is the Prequel Hypochlorous Acid Spray, which is actually called their Universal Skin Solution Dermal Spray for face and body. This contains 0.02% hypochlorous acid, electrolyzed water, and a soothing mineral concentrate. So this is a product that I did review in a New at the Drugstore video, maybe this summer. It's been a while, but I told you guys that I think it's a really great product. It's just not one that I feel the need to repurchase when my hypochlorous acid mist that I just get off of Amazon is more affordable. However, with Prequel now being available in Target, that makes this a really great option because I don't know of any other hypochlorous acid sprays that you can just pick up at Target. Maybe they exist, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So I wanted to call that out in case this is a product category that interests you, but you would just prefer to pick it up in stores. And last but not least for skincare are, like I was talking about, the products that I include in every Empties video because these are the serums that I am using every single day, so I obviously go through quite a few of them. We have my It Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakout Serum, which I use every single morning. morning, and my ordinary multi-peptide plus copper peptide serum that I use every night, in addition to my Dermatology needleless serum. I have gotten questions on actually all of these serums and whether or not I am still using them in my routines now that I have switched to Zerotine, and the answer to that is yes. Still using them, having no issue, no skin irritation with them. Everything is still working great, so until that changes, these are not going to change. All right, let's move on to Bodycare next. Just kidding, I have one more skincare empty that I forgot to talk about in my last empties video, potentially the one before that. I feel like this has been sitting in my drawer for a minute. It is the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser, and this is such an ice cream cleanser. There isn't a ton from Glow Recipe that I feel like I end up being obsessed with. A lot of their products end up irritating my skin and just not being the right fit, but this one is so nice. It's just not something that I wanted to repurchase because I have to be totally honest, it reminds me of boogers when it dries. Like the green color, the way it even dries on the packaging. Sorry, I know that's actually disgusting, but I gotta be totally honest, that is the reason why I don't want to repurchase this, despite it being a really nice cleanser. But even if it didn't have that problem, I still probably wouldn't repurchase it because I love the prequel cleanser even more. So it's like, I don't need this when the prequel cleanser is my holy grail. Okay, now actually moving on to Bodycare, I have 2 EOS lotions that I have fully used up. The first is in Strawberry Dream and the second is in Vanilla Cashmere. These body lotions truly deserve all of the hype that they get on TikTok. They have such a nice velvety, deeply moisturizing texture. The fragrances are amazing. I feel like I saw somebody say that the Vanilla Cashmere lotion reminds them of spoiled milk, and I see where you're coming from with that. Like if I have that in my head while I'm smelling it, I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying, but to me it just smells more like frosting. Kind of like a cream cheese frosting, as weird as that sounds. I really love it. I do think that the Philosophy Fresh Cream Moisturizer smells even better. Like if you are interested in something like this, that's vanilla-y, that's like baked goods, just like a super delicious sweet scent. Fresh Cream is still my favorite of the two, and oh my god, the texture is divine. But obviously this is not as accessible, it's more expensive, so I think that this one from EOS is a really amazing affordable alternative. I might as well just like show you these while we're here. Obviously I've used up so many of these. I can't remember if I have one more of these sitting in my bathroom. I might. I think I'll pause on repurchasing after that just because I'm really loving the EOS lotions, and I am also feeling inspired to try out other things. If there are any other lotion brands that you guys want me to test, let me know. But this will always be a holy grail. Do I love this even more than those? I don't feel like I can say that because I know that I'm not always going to be in the mood for this, but like almost always, the Strawberry Dream fragrance, you guys, is disturbingly amazing. Strawberry milkshake in a body lotion. 100 out of 10. This for me, hands down beats the Vanilla Cashmere fragrance. It is delectable. God, I love you. Second to last for body is the Way Body Cleanser. Do I already have another one of these sitting in my shower? It's either this one or another like different fragrance from them. God, this is so good. If you are not into super sweet gourmand scents, which you obviously know I am, and you prefer more of a floral fragrance, then this is gonna be right up your alley. Last for body is the Isle of Paradise Self Tanning Drops, which I don't plan to repurchase. I think that they're good, but I just think that the Tanologist drops are even better and they're more affordable. Let's move on to makeup. I have fully used up 2 of the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serums, in addition to a Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint and a Haus Labs foundation. And I wanted to talk about all of these together because while I do love all of these and think that they're great for different reasons, they have made me realize that there's not one single complexion product that I currently own that like does everything that I want it to when I am interested in something that has a little bit more coverage and is not too dewy looking on my skin, because obviously you guys know another holy grail complexion product of mine is the CL Skin Tint. It is stunning, so beautiful, and that one's buildable up to medium coverage, so has the perfect amount of coverage for me, but it's super juicy to the point where if I am wearing like an illuminating primer or sunscreen underneath it, it can end up being a bit too much and like crossing that line of overly dewy, which is not a line that I want to cross because my skin leans oily. So while I'm obsessed with that, there are certain situations where it's not something that I would reach for, and I would reach for one of these instead. But the Maybelline Superstay Colé skin tint is gorgeous, but I don't have one single shade that's a good match for me. So I'm always like mixing on the back of my hand, which drives me nuts. And this one definitely does settle into lines a little bit more than something like the CL skin tint. So while I love it, I recognize that like that could be improved about it. The L'Oreal tinted serum is also beautiful, but another that I feel like I have to mix shades with a lot. I'm actually wearing this right now in 1 to 2.5 Rosy Light, which is a better match for me than what I can find in Maybelline for when I'm fair. But if I have self tan on, then I end up mixing shades, and I'm just getting sick of like mixing everything on the back of my hand. It's so messy. I feel like I'm wasting so much product when I do that. Ugh. These are not end of the world problems. I obviously know that, but they're just kind of why I'm not like 100% sold on any of these. I think I'm just genuinely sick of the hand mixing, which is also something that I have to do with the Haus Labs foundation, because by itself, it's just like a little bit too makeup-y for me. But when I mix this with an illuminating primer, which I usually always do, what? That wasn't a sentence. I usually always mix this one with the Charlotte Tilbury primer, and my God, I'm like obsessed with how that looks, but I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if that existed all in one bottle so I didn't have to mix on the back of my hand? Anyway, that's just a little bit about me and my life.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did.
And why I don't know what I am going to repurchase yet now that I have empties of all of these. Well, I have more of these bottles still that I'm currently using and other shades that I need to finish up, but once I do that, and while I am going through those, I'm going to be seeing if there's anything else, I don't know, that could solve that problem for me. Maybe not, and maybe I'll just have to keep up with it and then whatever. Moving on to setting powder, I have actually emptied all of my favorite setting powders, and this is actually really good timing because I recently posted a video, potentially my last upload. I don't know the order that these are gonna go up yet, but I uploaded a video reviewing a bunch of new high-end beauty launches, and in that video, there were a lot of setting powders that had launched. I think I tested like at least 5, if not more, including Makeup Forever, RMS Beauty, Makeup by Mario, Iconic London, what else? Tower 28, Kosas. I feel like there was more. I'm not remembering everything, but a lot. But none of those powders like blew me away enough to the point where I would want to replace one of my current holy grail favorite powders with it. And those powders are the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, actually the loose one, because they did recently come out with a pressed setting powder version of this, also called Halo Glow, which I will review in my next New at the Drugstore video. But this one is beautiful and in my opinion outperformed all of the high-end powders in that video. A Colé Skin Melt, which is my personal favorite in winter months because it's definitely not the best for all-day oil control. I actually think that e.l.f. Halo Glow is better at that. But when I don't need that as much, it is absolutely gorgeous. And when I do need that in the summertime, the Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder is still better for me than anything that I tried in that video. So this is not the first, and it is certainly not the last time that you will be seeing these powders. The MAC Legit Lift Lash Primer was definitely good, but it dried up so quickly that I was like, this does not really feel worth it to repurchase. I'll show you what the wand looks like. I liked everything about it. Like, it definitely worked well, but I wasn't amazed enough to want to repurchase as often as I would need to, given the fact that, again, it dries out fast. I used up a Kosas Brow Pop Dual Action Defining Pencil, which is my absolute favorite brow pencil. It is so good if you have really small, sparse brows. The Maybelline Super Lock Brow Glue is actually a very good brow glue, but the problem is the packaging. I mean, you can see, like, this even looks pretty good because it's dried up at this point, but whatever mechanism they have in this tube to try to stop product from coming out and, like, only dispense the perfect amount on this wand just wasn't really working well, or maybe there just wasn't a mechanism and that's it. No, because I can see it's in there, how it like tapers to a smaller hole. I don't know, every time I pulled this out, the actual brow wax would just be glopped onto it and it would be a mess. I mean, you can see it's all over this too. It's just gross. So this is something that I would repurchase if it had different packaging because the product itself is great. It holds my brows up. So many brow gels just don't do that. My brows fall almost immediately, but this one I was like, dang, this is really good. So bummer on the packaging. I mean, it may be something that you're like, that's fine because it's so affordable and you don't mind, but I don't know, it grossed me out too much to want to rebuy. Last for makeup, which probably should have gone in the skincare category, is the e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balm in Vanilla Frosting. This is definitely a nice lip balm. Oh my God, it smells delicious. But it did not make my top 5, or even I think like top 6 or 7 favorite lip balms out of the 55 that I tried in my lip balm showdown. I think that there are better options. However, However, well, I was gonna say this is super affordable, but it's so tiny that it's like, if this was gonna be your go-to lip balm, I feel like you would end up spending more than you would with something else because of how tiny it is. God, it smells good though. I just can't stop smelling it. I love it. So I will not repurchase this one. If you would like to see what my favorite lip balms are, I will list that show down below. Definitely not something that I think is bad. I'm just like, after everything I tried, there's better. All right, let's wrap this video up with all of my hair care empties. First up is the Pantene Miracle Rescue Deep Repair Conditioner, which I already repurchased. I think that this is such a great conditioner that I actually love to use as a hair mask. So I'll load this on my hair, leave it on for up to 10 minutes, and then love the results that I get with it. It makes my hair feel really lightweight, not weighed down, super soft. And then I'm also getting the benefit of the reparative complex that they have in this, so it's strengthening my hair as well. They do also have a mask version of this where you're getting the same strengthening ingredients, but just in a thicker, creamier format. So if you would be interested in that over something that's lighter weight than this, then that's available as well. I also have that sitting in my shower, and I just kind of alternate between them, which is what I like to do with all of my favorite products. I literally have them all sitting in my shower, and then whenever I feel like using that wash, I will. I just kind of bounce around. But if Pantene is a brand that you're interested in, I would highly recommend going the Miracle Rescue route for conditioning products. I actually had a discussion with their head chemist this summer, so a while ago now, before Pantene blew up on TikTok, and she did let me know that the gold packaging, so this conditioner and the mask, has the highest concentration of their reparative ingredients compared to everything else that the brand has. So go for the gold, is what I'm trying to say. Another conditioner I've used up is the Dove Intensive Repair Conditioner, which is always my top recommendation for anybody that tells me that they have very fine and or thin hair that's easily weighed down, because this is so lightweight. It's the lightest weight reparative conditioner that I own, or maybe even just like conditioner period. I'm pretty sure it is, but it somehow still makes my very thick hair feel perfectly conditioned. And actually, I won't be repurchasing this one. Well, yes, I will. Well, no. Well, Dove actually reformulated their intensive repair line, so when you see me talking about it in the future, it won't be in this packaging anymore, which I guess they were repackaging anyway. But they've not only repackaged intensive repair, they have also reformulated it. And they reformulated it to make it even more reparative. So now it has the same kinds of like smart technologies in the bond strength line. They also added a polypeptide to it, and the formulas are definitely a little bit different. I think that they're actually like a little creamier, but they're still super lightweight. So that hasn't changed. That like light feel that I get from it is the same. So it still would be my recommendation over bond strength for anybody that has hair that lacks volume and again is weighed down easily and wants their hair to feel fluffy and light and fresh and voluminous. Speaking of bond strength, I also finished up another 10-in-1 bond strength serum mask, which I absolutely love. I think I have 2 of these sitting in my shower right now. It's like, why do you need 2 in there? Because I'm that scared to run out of it while I'm in the shower. This is the type of thing where it's not like I could use another hair mask if I ran out of it. Like, let's say I was doing one side and then I was like, crap, I ran out and I still need to do the other side, which happens to me more than you would think. I couldn't use anything else because nothing else that I have gives me the same kind of effect as this. So I would like literally feel a difference in the sides of my hair. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm just always gonna have to be overstocked with this in the event of that to prevent that emergency. I finished up the Not Your Mother's Intense Bonding Treatment, which is one of my favorite bond repair treatments at the drugstore. I would say that L'Oreal, Garnier, wait, are those the only 2 brands that technically have bond repair treatments? Why am I blacking out? Dove does not, like they've got their masks and conditioners, but not technically a treatment. Pantene, not in this kind of format. They have the spray, and again, they've got like conditioners and masks, but in terms of an actual treatment, I think it is just Garnier, L'Oreal, and Not Your Mother's that I personally really love, unless I'm completely spacing right now. But anyway, all of that to say, this is a bond repair treatment that I really enjoy. I think it has interesting technology in the sense that it's different from what I see from other bond repair treatments at this price point, or really any. So both L'Oreal and Garnier utilize citric acid. This does not. I won't get into all of that in this video. I'm going to list a video below where I actually tested out like all of the top rated drugstore bond repair systems. I dive more into the ingredients there, but this is one that works differently than those on our hair. So if you didn't have a lot of success in using products like that, or like this, this, which is also an empty that also uses citric acid, then this might be one that you end up liking more instead. And the last thing I'll say about this that I really love compared to all of my other bond repair treatments is that it's one of the only ones that feels super, super nice. I've talked before about the fact that a lot of bond repair treatments are not the most cosmetically elegant because they don't have to be. The purpose is not to condition our hair and make it feel super soft and silky in the way that like a conditioner or hair mask is, or would. What's the word I'm supposed to say there? Does. I don't know. The purpose of a bond repair treatment is to deliver that bond repair technology. So I really love the fact that this one feels super soft and silky because it's just a more enjoyable application experience. Not Your Mother's is definitely a brand that a lot of people sleep on, but they have some surprisingly good products. Since we just mentioned it, I finished up a Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate Intensive Treatment, which again utilizes citric acid to repair. This is an amazing treatment. It's still one of my top recommendations for bond repair and something that I will absolutely repurchase. While we are talking about bond repair, let's just do a quick drive-by of the bond repair treatments that I show you in every Empties video. Apres. Okay, we actually need to talk about this. One second. Living Proof Triple Bond Complex and K18. So this is insane. And as my hair gets longer and thicker, it is a lot of product to go through with my current wash cadence, which is 3 times a week. And on top of that, it's also something that I'm like getting a little exhausted by. When I first tested out the Apres treatment, I think I was washing my hair 1 time a week. Was I? When I first started it, and then I gradually increased that to 2. And now I am almost always at 3 washes a week, which has just made this like, again, a lot. So I feel like I need to think about how I want to proceed with Apres. I absolutely am going to continue using it, but like 3 times a week, I don't feel like doing that anymore. Like not only is it a lot of product, it also does just get to be a little bit annoying to like want to wash my hair and then be like, but wait, I have to apply Apres and then wait for it to penetrate and sit. And then if I'm gonna apply coconut oil on top of that, wait even longer. Like it's just such a process, and it always was, but I wasn't doing it as many times per week as I am now, to where it's feeling just like too much for me to keep up with every single time I wash my hair. So I don't know, maybe I'll do like twice a week, maybe some weeks I'll do 1 and some weeks I'll do 3. I don't have like a set rule for this yet, but I'm thinking about it. Oh wait, I forgot a hair mask. Oribe Gold Lust Transformative Mask. I have to say, in testing out so many drugstore hair care products in 2024, I started to just be like, I don't know about this. Not that I don't know about it, because I still love this. I think it's such a nice hair mask. It makes my hair feel great. It smells so good. The texture is divine. Like everything about this is luxury, but this is $70, $69, basically 70. And so repurchasing this, knowing the incredible options that I have at the drugstore that I have tried throughout the last couple of years, just feels like, why am I spending that kind of money on this? So it's not that I don't recommend this anymore or don't think that it's a beautiful hair mask, because I do recommend it. I do think it's beautiful. I just don't see myself repurchasing something like this as often anymore, given what I already have at a fraction of the cost. For leave-in conditioner, of course, we've got some Pureology Color Fanatic. I think that this is actually the last of the old packaging that I have. I've gone through all of these. Now it's this updated packaging. Still my baby, #1 love. But I have also used up the Redken One United All-in-One Multi-Benefit Treatment, which is another amazing option for a leave-in conditioner. If you're somebody that doesn't love Pureology, you might love this, but also, you guys, the ingredients are so similar that I'm like, maybe you wouldn't love this one either. This is one of those where I'm like, both of these brands are owned by L'Oreal. The top 3 ingredients: water, coconut oil, amodimethicone, polyquaternium 37. Okay, then they start to differ a little. So obviously they're not identical, and I actually think that this one from Redken is a little bit of a finer mist, a little bit more lightweight than Pureology, but the effect that I get on my hair, where it's really nicely detangling and makes my hair feel super soft and silky, that stays the same. And that doesn't really surprise me. Wait, I want to smell this. Yes. This smell is so nostalgic for me, because when did I use this? In college? Like, I used to use it so long ago and then just like forgot about it before before I ever was doing beauty YouTube, so this smell just like brings me back. I have also used up a L'Oreal 21-in-1 spray, which I can't remember if I talked to you guys about this in a recent video or not, but they have repackaged this, renamed it. So if you are looking for this spray and you were used to the old packaging, just know that that's been updated, but the product itself is exactly the same. And this also has the same first three ingredients: water, coconut oil, amodimethicone. Not identical, of course, not what I'm saying at all, but I feel like that kind of helps me to understand why I have always felt like this would be my top recommendation for an affordable leave-in for anyone that really loves Pureology but wants something that's more budget friendly. What I have noticed about this one compared to Pureology, like when I'm really trying to pay attention, is that I feel like this one has a little bit more slip to it, kind of similar to like the Eva NYC Main Magic, where it's not like an oil, but there's like a tiny bit more of that oil-like slip than the Pureology leave-in has, which could either be a pro or con for you, but I obviously really love it. I actually used this yesterday with the new Dove Intensive Repair, and my hair feels amazing, if I do say so myself. Second to last is another Color Wow Dream Coat, which I often show in Empties videos. It's just something that I absolutely love when I am looking for something that is humidity proofing. And I'm going to need that next month because I'm going to Cabo. I'm so excited. So I will definitely be bringing this with me. That is like the perfect example of when I need this. And last and kind of least is the Kristen S Style Reviving Dry Shampoo. I don't mean to shade this dry shampoo, I'm sorry. It's definitely not bad, it's just not my favorite dry shampoo. I have tried so many, I have multiple dry shampoo showdowns. I definitely included this in one of those. And I feel like I held onto this forever. I could not get myself to reach for it and use it up because there are just others that I think are more weightless in my hair, leave less of a cast, but I finally did and I won't repurchase. All right, that's it for this Empties video. Links to everything that I just talked about will be listed in order of mention in my description box below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Those are all things that really help to support my channel, so it means so much to me when you do that. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up a week from today, but until then, I hope you have a great week.